Hello. Mass social media participation, perception, and you. We have expected for decades, anticipated even, as was predicted by those from the Situationist movement, by those who came before us in such obscure movements as these, that all is directly lived, as has become mere representation. But I don't want to downplay the power and efficacy of this impact, an impact which mass social media participation has made on our psyches. Let me correct this formerly situationist thesis to be right and proper, and the way it should be. Here in this world where social media has already existed and permeated our cultures for generations, all that you directly live, you end up perceiving as representation, even before it becomes representation. Let us consider the greatest known, most reputable, the mass social media platform of this day, Facebook. As we have seen, it has succeeded in raising an entire generation of people all across the world. These people have been particularly molded to its own laws of Facebook, its own particular mechanisms and workings, and as such, they find themselves bound by the status update, encapsulated in a history of their images, their selfies, that is to say, their own self-portraits, and their live streams. These status updates and selfies are to be submitted to Facebook on a regular basis. They are to be submitted and to be exchanged, liked and judged by your peers, to be cataloged on your wall, to be shared to a perhaps endless array of people in your life, depending on how many Facebook friends you may have. All of this, I would argue, is that network of your friends, family, and loved ones may view these medias and feel as if they are participating in your life. All that you directly live, you end up perceiving as representation, even before it becomes representation. Now let me break that down for you. Particularly the mechanism of control here becomes the constant psychological exposure to the fathomless depths of social information, status updates from your friends, including images, channeled and dispersed by the great Facebook algorithm. In fact, we want to participate in this project because it makes us feel connected to each other, bridges vast distances of geography, and gives us a real insight into each other's lives, that is to say, our perceptions of our own lives as we relate and convey them to others, no matter how subconscious. All that you directly live, you end up perceiving as representation even before it becomes representation. Now, as we increase this constant exposure in our lives, not only our lives, but our hearts and minds, our psyches, and especially our daily business and our social affairs, we find that once we participate, and once we participate enough, you begin not only to consider, yet to expect each and every moment as an addition to your social media, as an addition to your Facebook wall. Each and every moment becomes a potential status update, something to be added to the stream, something to be shared with your friends, something to be written down in history, or typed rather. All that you directly live, you end up perceiving as representation even before it becomes representation. This element of social media is the greatest mechanism of Facebook. Not only has the social media changed the way companies do business, increasing the investment market with a specifically market of attention and focus, whereby you face an endlessly personalized world of entertainment and social engagements with your network. Facebook has shaped the whole fundamental perception of an entire generation. A total generation has been raised on the status updates and selfies. People less and less get their daily news from so-called mainstream media outlets, talking mouthpieces and delicately groomed corporate figures telling you how it is in the world. Facebook and other companies beyond the scope of this essay were once the future of this new world of media. Today they are not the future, yet the present. All that you directly live, you end up perceiving as representation even before it becomes representation. How many times have you woken up, not only first to check your feed, what's happening with your friends, your social network? How many times do you find yourself receiving that classic notification sound, the ding, 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 and a wall of text or a series of comments, especially when you're busy doing something, your latest memories from last year and more years prior? Facebook has provided us a world of connectivity, an entire new world where you can be close to your friends and loved ones a vast distance away. All that you directly live, you end up perceiving as representation even before it becomes representation. When you go out into the real world, the so-called meat space, try to think about how you interact with your surroundings, how you might upload your thoughts and feelings onto the Vine to bump around on the feed, trying to think about how your conversations, your hopes and engagements online might make up your day totally awesome or jade your day for the worse. To improve or to put a weight, a heaviness on your heart and soul, there develops an interplay between yourself and the world around you in increasingly technological ways due to cyberspace and its implications for our present and future society. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. Specialists have theorized and tested these implications for generations, and I have just exposed you to a general range of specific devices and workings of this social media. We may even reach a point in these social media dynamics from which there may be no escape. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? I leave that to you. Have a great day.